What's up, everybody? This is Marcus Photog. I'm doing another review. I'm gonna do a review. Actually, like show you some images, some real style type review here. I use the 85. I use the 85 millimeter Sigma lens, the Art series. So it's the Sigma 85 millimeter Art lens. And I also use the converter, the MC-11, and I have it on a Sony A7 II. I just purchased this camera because had a real nice sale on it, and man, I was like, man, you can't beat that type of sale. I know that this camera is also well known for video quality, and I was like, well, let me test the video quality for some night shoots here. So what I'm gonna demonstrate, well, not demonstrate, what I'm gonna show you is some images that I photograph at night, and it'll give you an idea how well this camera works. I don't really care too much about cons, because if anything have too many cons, then I'm not gonna purchase it anyway. So you'll never see me do a review on anything that I don't like in the first place. So and my goal is, well, not my goal, but my thing is, if you don't like it, don't buy it. So if you buy it and it doesn't work, take it back. So I only invest in things that's gonna help me make more money in the future. Here's my website. I do use Wix.com. I'm not sponsored by Wix. Wix don't give me any type of money, nor does Canon or Sony or Sigma. Just doing a review. Just give you a little idea of who I am. You know, I'm a fashion photographer here in the Dallas area, and I do travel every now and then. But here's a photo shoot I did with a designer called Marcella here in the local area of Dallas. I'm just gonna scroll through it so you can kind of see, you know, some of my work. A little shot I did here in Fort Worth. Here's another model here who actually just signed up with the Camel Agency. Another one of my famous models here, Alia. Oh, I pronounced her name wrong, but get in trouble. This is Cindy right here. Alia. This is Ty. Just going through a few here. This is what I did, like endogenous little shoot here. This is actually when women dressed up to look like men. That was pretty cool. Actually, I did this image here with the 85, but this was on a Canon 80D. So to help you out here, for those who want the Canon 80D, even though this is not a Canon 80D review, I did this image with the Canon 80D. This one, I did this one with the Sony A7 II. So 80D. As a matter of fact, when I photographed this one, I used the 50 1.8 for sure. I know for sure I used the 1.8 on this shot here. The Canon lens on the 80D. Same here with the Canon lens there. Studio stuff, you can always change your f-stops on your studio look. So I know for sure I photographed this one with the 50 1.8 from Canon with the 80D as well. This is done with the 85, and that's the 50 1.8 again. That's studio, and actually I did this one with the 1.8 on with the 80D. This is like at my studio here. You see that I be rocking that Calvin Klein look, and it'd be pretty awesome. I like that. Man, these models come correct. And you see that I use all cultures when I photograph as well. This is actually shot with the Canon 1.8 on the 80D, and this one as well. This one was done with the 80D with the Sigma 85 art lens as well. So Of course, I know this review is going to be on the Sony, and this is the image I actually photographed with the Sony and the 85. So, and all these images are edited, so you won't really get to see a true review. So let's kind of jump into the review here. I'm gonna close some of these windows here, and I'm gonna close these up. I want you to actually look at. I want you to, when I do this review, I want you to look at these reviews as if you actually sitting at the desk after your photo shoot, and you're looking at this image, and you see how clear that is. Well, not super clear because it is a night shot, but this night shot here, believe it or not, if you look up here, I was at an ISO of 1250, and this is with the Sony A7ii using a converter, the MC-11 and the Sigma 85 millimeter art lens. For those who are looking to purchase these things, man, I'm telling you, this is bananas, man. Because let me tell you why it's bananas. This is something I can't do with the other cameras that I've owned, and the 5-axis actually works with the. If you buy this Sigma converter, you are going to get quality and as if you just had on a Sony lens. I don't know what it is about the converter. Sony and Sigma had something going on to where this converter actually worked better than any other converter that's out there. And I don't have to lie to you because you're looking at it yourself. This is with the Sony A7 II, not the A7R II, but the A7 II, and I did the update as well, the latest update. Today's date is 6/9/2017, so whatever the latest update is, that's what's in there. And I want you to see something. And you let me know if you do this with any other camera you have. Because this is an ISO of 1250, 85 millimeter. You're reading it right here. There's no reason to lie. I shot this at 1.4, and this is 1/20th of a second. Now, holding the camera at 1/20th of a second at night, you need a tripod. I was holding this in my hand. No tripod, no flash. There was like a little street light in the alley that was kind of reflecting on her from the top, as you can tell right here. Honestly, I could have lowered the ISO. I bet you I could have got down to like maybe 1,000 or 800 and still got a real nice image of here, because this right here is a little bit overexposed. But we're shooting at night. I was shooting it so quick because we was in like this wild dark alley downtown Dallas, and this is 1/20 of a second. I know if I would have been at 800, I probably could have got up to maybe 60 of a second or something like that. But still, at 20th of a second, and I'm gonna zoom in at 20th of a second, and you still see this. You still see hair. It's gonna be a little grainy. I mean, I ain't gonna trip on that because it's a nighttime shoot. But the grain is not that high, and this is unedited. I'm gonna double check, make sure I didn't do too much changing on here. Everything is there. Look, you can read Calvin Klein right here, Calvin Klein, and I'm holding it, and this is 1/20th of a second. And like for real, I mean, her tattoos is not even blur. I mean, you can't beat the quality. Look at here, strings. It's not blurring. It's not moving like it has a little slow motion look to it. Man, this is 1/20th of a second, and I'm holding it with my hand. Look at here. See, you don't even see any blur in these bulks here. 128 per second. The 5 image uh, stabilizer system, 5-axis. Sorry, the stabilizer system in the Sony with the converter. A lot of people was complaining about how the converters don't give you the same quality. I'm sorry, but this Sigma system here connect to the Sony, you are going to get the same quality as if you was on a native lens. Now look at here, the hair. It's just not blur hair. The only reason why you kind of, or another thing you don't see a lot of chromatic aberration here as well. See that? I'm telling you, this the lens. I was already impressed with the lens when I was shooting on the Canon. If you look at some of my other reviews, it was the Canon 80D with the 80 millimeter from Sigma, the art lens. I was doing reviews on that. Now I'm doing it with the Sony, and I'm shooting at 1/20th of a second, and people complaining. I hear a lot of people saying, well, it's not, well, the converters don't work for me. Well, this converter works. I mean, I don't get paid by Sigma to tell you this. I mean, I only buy things that's going to help me make more money. And look at here. I mean, this is a night shoot. I mean, you can see hairs in the arm. That converter, it works. I'm just going to be honest with you. So, let me see what... Now, if I was going to probably publish this image, now remember, it's as... You see it says as shot. And this is coming off at a temperature of 3600. Usually when you add things, when you open up an image to Lightroom tries to do a little auto balance, and really the auto balance is nothing but here. This is where they make the changes at, so no big deal. I mean, you can always put everything back to 0. Because it's letting you know right here in a shaded highlight what the original number is. But you can put this on 0 and you won't even notice. And you'll notice that you're at the balance. So if it came in the camera, it actually probably would look like that. But I noticed that there is a little highlight change here. So let me put it back here so you can see. Just a little hot right here on the image. So usually what I would do, I mean, it's not really overexposed. It's just the hair. It's a little bit too hot for me. So I would kind of turn it down a little bit. And maybe I'll add a little shadow to bring her back out. And turn the highlights down a little bit more so you can kind of see a little bit more here in the hair. See how I did that? It's perfect. And of course I'll send it over to Adobe like we usually do, and I'll just do some little editing or some of these areas right here. But other than that, still just sending this image as is. Man, it's Megan did an actually good job here with the hair and everything. She actually did her own hair and makeup, and she actually purchased the Calvin Klein look herself. But this is pretty much what I would do with the image. I don't know if I really touch the clarity too much. Sometimes you mess with the clarity, you start messing with the skin. So you gotta be kind of careful with clarity sometimes. So, if it was a view with buildings or something like that, I would probably touch the clarity. I don't fool around with. Some people like to turn it. If you turn it down like that, you see what you get. Some people would do that, which is cool. But I want to keep it like this because this is a natural look, and it's got a different colors from downtown that's shining on her. You see all the different colors. It's kind of like you used a gel, but I didn't use a gel. So people will ask you, hey, did you use gel? No, I didn't use gel. This is all actual lighting from downtown that's illuminating her. And I'm gonna tell you here, a lot of people like to say, hey, can I get that cinematic look? I'll probably just do it like this a little bit. Kind of add a little drama to it. But other than that, this is the actual natural image itself. Now, let me woe you with something here. Because I know you like, when you looked on my website, this was the final image. This is edited. But here's the image before I did the editing. And I'm telling you, at night, to get these type of results, man, is amazing. I mean, look, See that under there? And and before I say it, let me double check. Because I know I was shooting at 1.4 at night. Yeah. This is the ISO of 800. We're shooting under a street light. ISO 800, 85 millimeter. I'm doing a 1.4. And this is at 1/100 of a second. That's perfect. And at 1/100 of a second, look at that. For nighttime, that's some pretty dang on good results. I don't care what you say. Even down to the leg here. See that? You say what you want to say. Put all the negative comments you want to. But at nighttime, I already know as a professional photographer, this is excellent results to get. And I'm telling you, and I'm using what people are complaining about. I'm using a converter from Sigma, and I'm using a lens for Sigma, the art series. I'm shooting at 1.4. A guy was like, man, how you get all this in focus at 1.4? Usually things will come in focus and everything will blur here on the end. No, man. When using the focal length on this 85, when everything zoom in, it brings everything up front into focus, and then you get your little your bulks in the back, and you can't beat that type of quality. And of course, after editing, you get this type of result. It's perfect. What else can I show you? Oh yeah, street. I mean, standing in the middle of the street. Sorry, that's the edited version. I'm gonna show you. My goal was to shoot this a little underexposed for a reason, because I didn't want to be too hot up in here. This is the original image, and you notice that the chromatic aberration is real low right here. Low enough that I don't even touch it. So usually you're supposed to, if you're going to see a chromatic aberration, you're going to see it up in here real high, and it's not there. You'll see it up in here. And it's not there. You'll see it right here around the hair, and it's not there at all. This system just did what it's supposed to do, and what it's supposed to do is, I call it the definition work. So if it works for me, you got my money. That's the end results right there. And I'm gonna close it out with this one last image, because I don't want to do a long review. I just wanted you guys to kind of have an idea of how this works. That was good too, but let me see what else I have that we did. Let's try this one here. Yeah, this is standing in the middle of the road, in the middle of the street. Sorry. One problem that I did have, that I also have with my other cameras, is that she was actually walking, and my goal was to catch her walking, because we got the little flying here. That was my goal. The only thing is, when it was walking and a car was coming up and the light got into the lens wants to focus on the moving light. So you got to kind of watch that when you're shooting nighttime with any type of camera system. It locked on her real well. And also, just in case you guys was wondering, like, do you get the little face thing there in a little square? Yeah, the camera actually would put a square right there on her face when I'm getting ready to shoot, like right there. And even though it was there, when that car was moving, when the extra lights was pulling up, we start off, it was like one car there. By the time she walked across the street, more cars was pulling up, and the camera tend to want to focus on the moving object, and that's usually what a system is gonna do. So but other than that, it's a little grainy, but that's okay. But that's what you're gonna get when you're shooting high at night, and the grain is really not nothing to complain about. And another thing I'm gonna tell you about grain, even though we're looking here on computers, the problem is when we look on computers, we look so close to the image, and we be like, oh man, look at the grain, it's too high. But when you print, you don't even really see this. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You barely see that. So, but it's just the fact that we got computers and we zoom in so close on things. But the grain level is very low, even at 2000. And when I use other cameras, at 2000, man, the grain is taking over. You can barely see the image. I was at an event last week, and a guy, he had this high-powered Nikon. Another like girl was shooting with high-powered Canon. I used all these systems, and we compared images, and it was like, man, wow. It was like, man, that is just your quality that you got. We all took the same picture, but the quality that I got in the picture was way higher than what they had. So, and I'm not comparing companies, but I'm just saying what works for me. So do what works for you, but this works for me. So, and that was that shot. And you know what? Let me see if I can pull it real quick. I want to show you one more. And this is something I did recently. Megan. Oh yeah, here. This is PJ. That was a test shot, so I don't really want to show you that one. I changed this up. This is black and white. But man, that's because I made it black and white. But look at this image here. And untouched, I didn't do anything with it. I mean, PJ rocked it. This is actually last night. I got an ISO of 1600 on an 85 millimeter lens, and we're shooting at 1.4 still. And this is 1/80 of a second. It's like 80 seconds. 180, like one with the little line through 80 second. I mean, bananas. I mean, the look in here is, I mean, you can see it. I mean, I don't have to prove anything to you. The camera, I mean, the system, the Sigma with the converter. The reason why I'm doing this review, because people just want to know, hey, how well this converter is. And usually when I'm watching reviews, I'm watching people talk, but they don't even have the actual product. And then some people just open the box of the product and they never use it. I'm like, oh, just an open box. So I can just go to the camera shop and open the box. But this is me actually maxing this camera out to see if it actually can do what it says, on the box. And I am very happy, even though this is the Sony A7 Mark II. I know the A9 is out, and I'm pretty sure the A9 is doing an excellent job, but I'm getting perfect quality, man, just with this one. And on the price that the camera was, I don't know how much it is in your town, but I'm not getting a whole lot of, and the reason I'm zooming in, because, people like to see if it's going to give you a whole lot of chromatic aberration here, and it's not. So, but I'm going to show you this last one. I'm really going to close the review out. I'm sorry, I know I don't want to be long on this, but I'm trying to see if this is it right here. Well, that's a nice one there. You can actually see how clear she is here at night. This is nighttime. Real life type shooting. So, let's try this one here. No, it's not that one. Oh yeah, here. But I already edited this. But man, I am rocking it with this camera, with the Sigma lens. I didn't really have a hard time coming and focus. The car, when it pulled up, he said, hey, let me turn my high beams on. I said, that's perfect. He turned his high beams on, and the look, man, was perfect. In the town that I live in Dallas, a lot of people are just excited to see photographers out. And look at here. I mean, really. Now, I did have, remember I told you about a few problems that you'll have? It's like, I did get the shot, but when those cars kind of started moving, the camera kind of started switching back and forth. So when she did the spin, the camera zoomed back in on her, and I caught it. So that's with any camera that I use. I usually have that situation. Cameras are not humans, so there's not enough for me to say I'm gonna take this camera back. So actually, that's enough for me to say I'm gonna keep the camera. So, guys, that's it. That's on the review. Let me tell you about this shot here. I did the ISO. That's 2000, still at 85, 1.4. Now at 2000 and 1.4, I was shooting at 1/200 of a second. I mean, which is telling you that I could have went down a little bit more on the ISO, but I had to kind of when you're going out into the highway, not into the highway, in the street, you gotta do it safely, and we gotta do it when the light's red, and you only have 13 seconds on a crosswalk, so you gotta do it legal. You can't just block traffic, and I don't know. Please don't block traffic when you do that. That makes it bad for the other photographers that's trying to come out and shoot, because when you blocking traffic, you causing complaints. And what's going to happen is it's going to be hard for us to shoot in certain locations. So when you do shots like this, do it right, do it safe. Don't block traffic. Wait till the light is red and do it in crosswalks. Don't stay in the middle of the street, because that's illegal. To be honest with you, they can write you a ticket. Like you could tell this is actually in a crosswalk. So, and right here is a bus lane. So please stay out the bus lane, because bus lane will not stop. When those buses are coming, they're not stopping. They're gonna run right over you, and then they're gonna blow the horn. So, and they're gonna keep going. But that's my review, guys. Marcus Photog. And this review is with the Sigma 85mm art lens, 1.4, with the mount converter, the MC-11. This is a Canon mount from Sigma. Also, I was using the Sony A7ii, or the Sony Mark II, and I got some excellent results. No complaints, keeping the system. Looking forward to maybe upgrading and getting another one. So, and there's my review. And, like, subscribe. If you want me to do any other type of testing with this converter, you got any questions on how the converter worked, what issues I had, what I was shooting at night, you're gonna get your best test out of a lens when you shoot at night. Daytime, you're gonna always get a lot of good results because the light's out and the camera's gonna work at its best because it's so bright. But in low light conditions, like this, if you got any questions, you want to know what I experienced, whatever, just let me know. And please hit subscribe, like, stay away from that little button that with the thumbs down. Just push the like and subscribe. This is Marcus Photog, guys, and I'm tuning out.